The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corporation.
Well, my girl's got the sweetest pussy.
Welcome to Sin City Bounty.com. We are light one girl, but she is on her way. I guess I shouldn't use the word girl anymore.
Listen,
One woman?
girl is like the N-word. We can say it, but you can't.
Maybe I should just put some spank on the girl. Like, we're missing one girl today. No?
Sister.
No, I don't really like the word sister.
Yeah, well, yeah. Still, yeah. You're
I won't smile a lot.
The camera's far enough away, nobody can see it.
So, talk away. She had family stuff again, and it just got done. We are going to be moving our show to an hour earlier.
7 p.m., baby.
Yep. So for those of you who are watching us at 1 a.m. on the East Coast, you can now do us at midnight. Do us at midnight.
Which is what we recommend you do.
Yes.
It is, after all, the witching hour.
And one of the things that we were talking about today on the way in is how internationally renowned we are.
In a teeny tiny little slice of the world.
I love that we are, I love saying that we are internationally renowned.
Internationally renowned.
We even have some little tiny islands that have no names, like off the chain of islands of New Zealand, I believe.
We get them
fans
from all
there.
over.
Yeah, which is very cool. Send us your emails, leave us voice messages, contact us on Facebook. If you're from around the world, we love hearing from you. I remember when we got a message from a fan in Ireland, which I know you love.
My people!
That's right. We have yet to get one from Thailand.
I hope we get one from Thailand.
Me too.
We've had plenty from the East Coast further north. That's where this one's from.
Yep.
I'm getting a...
So, just find us. You can just type in Sin City Bounty anywhere, and you guys can contact us.
We are literally everywhere.
Yep.
Internationally renowned. The conversation went... I love those conversations, too, when we talk about it. They're like, oh, so what do you do on Tuesday nights? Because I'm never available on Tuesday night. And it's like, well, I do a radio show. Oh, really? How long have you been doing that? Well, 7 years, because that's how long it's been now. 7 years. Minus 6 months where I refuse to do anything. And then they're like, oh, what's it about? And then you have to have that awkward conversation that it's about boobs and penises and current events.
Yeah, we talk about pretty much anything here.
Yeah, well, it's no holds barred.
Yeah.
I tell everybody it's a variety talk show. We talk about a variety of things.
I'm writing that down.
Variety.
I never even thought of describing us that way.
Really? Yeah, we're a variety talk
Adult
show.
variety.
Adult variety. Very NSFW. Not safe for work.
Although, I know there are plenty of you, because we've been told by you, that you listen to us while you're at work, which is fucking awesome.
Very first season, our very first bit of fan mail came from a guy who was operating a wrecking crew while listening to our show, and we put in a disclaimer for that first year that we cannot be held liable for anything that is destroyed accidentally while our show is being listened to.
Yeah. Hey, we have sorry if I say this incorrectly, but I think it's Diguito Fernandez from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Oh my God, that's so awesome!
I do believe they're in the same time zone we are, so that's cool.
That is true. It's like
yeah, it's like bloop, right straight down.
Let's see. Alex from New Jersey, soon to be in Las Vegas. Yes. Ooh. Brian says, hello, gorgeous women. Hello, Brian. Although we know that your favorite, Toxie, is not here yet. So I'm sure you'll have a very special hello for her when she shows up.
Whoop, whoop. Internationally renowned in like 3 countries.
We also have William, and I know he's from Mississippi.
I thought it was Missouri.
Missouri? It could be Missouri.
It's one of those MISS states.
Yeah. And then Jasper is from Arizona. And
Karen is from San Diego, and Timothy is from Florida.
yes,
Woo woo.
I love that. How many places have you lived in your lifetime?
Me?
Yeah.
A ton. I have lived in 4 different cities in Texas, Oklahoma City. I have lived in Iowa. I have lived in Arizona. I have lived in Nevada. And when I was in the Army, I lived in South Carolina.
Nice.
And I don't even want to tell you how many times I've moved just living in Las Vegas. I come from a very wanderlusty group of people. The house that I'm living in now, with the exception of one other home that my parents owned, I've lived here the longest of almost anywhere else. It's been almost 6 years.
I call myself a native, even though I've only been here 30-something years.
That technically makes you a native.
Yeah.
I think anything after 10 years makes you a native Las Vegan.
Yeah.
If you know that Eastern has 2 other names and that Tenaya is not a straight line, then you know you're from Vegas.
Whenever my mom and I drive around town, there's always, I remember when this road was just 2 lanes. I remember when this road had shoulders of dirt for a mile.
I remember when going to, so we have 2 parks. One's a federal park and well, now it's a city park, but it was a state park at the time. That it used to be like you had to drive forever to get there, and they were in the middle of nowhere. But like Floyd Lamb State Park, there used to be just Floyd Lamb, and it is now in the middle of a housing development. And I'm like, that blows my mind. And then, although it's a city park now, I keep calling it Floyd Lamb State Park. It's a city park now.
It
and
is?
Red Rock, yeah, it's been a city
Oh.
park for a while. And Red Rock National Canyon Resort, whatever you want to fucking call it, Red Rock, way out there, is not way out there anymore. Like, there's a sidewalk ends, and maybe 2 or 3 miles later is Red Rock. And even when I was hiking out there regularly, it didn't go out that far. Like, it was still a longer drive. I remember the drive to Mount Charleston. It used to be like forever and ever and ever.
It did. I remember,
You would
15, 20 years ago, driving out to Mount Charleston, it took forever to get there. But now it's like nothing.
I mean, it's the same distance. It's just that when you turn off of Lee Canyon, it's literally only a mile away from the last house
Yeah.
in a housing development, and that gap is shortening quickly.
Yeah.
Vegas is too big.
It is too big. They say that we're going to run out of water.
Yeah, we're going to have to stop building at some point.
Yeah. All right. I have lived all over the world. I'm an Air Force brat. So I was born in Thailand. And then we moved to Japan, where I lived for a few years. And then from there, we moved to Fairfield, California.
Fairfield,
Travis Air
California.
Force Base.
Wow.
It was great. And then I moved to Italy, and those were my formative years in northern Italy, up there in the Friuli region. And I loved it there. Field trips, when I lived there, weren't to like the local 7-Eleven for a Slurpee like they do now. Because I used to work for a 7-Eleven, and we used to have field trips of kids come in, and I would give them a tour. I didn't know what to do. I took them into the back and showed them how the Slurpees came in boxes, and I went to Venice on a field trip.
Fuck that.
It
Man.
was fucking awesome.
Oh, I got to say, I spent 1 school year in Oklahoma. We lived there for like 1 full calendar year. And our field trip was to this nature preserve just outside of Oklahoma City. That it was like, we got off the bus, we crossed this little footpath bridge, and we were in the middle of the fucking forest. Like, there was no, I mean, there was civilian life nearby, but it was fucking beautiful. Like, you just disappeared into the nothingness. It was fucking amazing. I loved living back east. And when I say back east, I just mean east of the Rocky Mountains. I've never lived on the East Coast with the exception of South Carolina, and I loved that too.
I wanted to move there. Before I met Mike, I had plans. I had like notebooks filled with different little towns that I wanted to live in. I'm a huge fan of the small town kind of thing, so I wanted to find like a fisherman's village to live in, you know, where I could create art or whatever and be one of those kooky people that live on the wharf. But then then I met Mike, and I couldn't move because of his job. And then now as I've gotten older, because it's been a few years, I don't want to leave because my mom lives here, and I don't want to be away from my mom. So, but I would love to live on the East Coast. I want to go see all the stuff. I want to go see Benjamin Franklin's house and I want to go see, the battlefields, and I want all that American history that's back there.
It's all fucking amazing. I'm telling you, I love east of the Rocky Mountains. There's so much to see, so much to do. So what are you waiting for?
We have Bronx, New York. Hey, David, how you doing from the Bronx?
David.
William says Missouri. It's not Mississippi.
I told you it was Missouri.
Yep. And let's see. Hey, Jasper. Air Force, past Air Force. Timothy has lived in Miami, Boston, Columbia, and Los Angeles. Columbia, like South America? Columbia?
Probably not. Probably Columbia, Ohio.
I thought that was Columbus.
Oh, maybe. There's a Columbia in almost every state back east.
I like people who, I think one of the reasons why I like you is because, like you so much, is because you have lived in more places. I like people, not that people who don't go anywhere aren't any good.
I'm interesting.
I think it makes people more worldly when they open their horizons or have had their horizons opened.
People who've never experienced a true cross-country road trip, like more than 3 states. 3 states is not cross-country, you guys. It's like tri-state area, right? Driving from California to New Mexico does not count as a cross-country trip. Driving from Nevada to Arkansas is halfway cross country, like it's almost the way. I've driven I didn't drive, but I've been on a road trip from Dallas, Texas to New York City and back again. And people who have never been on that like week-long road trip crammed in a crappy vehicle, well, we had a really nice big-ass van, but who've never experienced that kind of travel don't understand how much fun and how exhausting it is at the same time. So we went up to Wyoming, which I don't count as cross country, even though we did go from the southern part of the country to the northern part of the country. But even that road trip, lots of people don't do that. We live in a city that you can get everything you need in this city. I know people who, until their mid-30s, had never left this city, and they've only left like a couple of times. I know people who were born and raised here who just never traveled. They're just like, oh yeah, we go to San Diego. I'm like, that don't count. That's practically the same state. Like, that's only 6 hours.
I count it.
I don't count it.
I think it's cool because you walk into a whole different atmosphere when you go to San Diego.
Well, that's true.
It is completely different from Vegas.
It is.
Well, pretty much anywhere you go is completely different from Vegas.
Yeah, last call's a bitch, yo. Just saying. We don't got that shit here.
Columbia is in South Carolina.
Oh.
Is that what the university, is that from like where the Columbia University is?
Maybe.
I thought that was New York. Anyway.
Well, we know he's a fancy pants college kid, so.
He is a fancy pants college kid. He said he drove from Boston to Los Angeles. It broke up his relationship, so he's on the fence on road trips. In the Air Force my dad was in, when we lived in California and we were moving to Italy, I don't know why. I don't know if it was required, it was something we had to do, or something my dad wanted to do because that's what he loved to do. But we drove across the entire United States to take off in a plane from New Jersey.
Wow.
And then when we landed in Italy to move here, we got stationed here because my mom picked it. My mom had a choice of like Monaco and Hawaii and a bunch of other exotic locales, including Las Vegas, and she picked Vegas. So that's why we're here. But we landed in New Jersey. From Italy, we landed in Jersey and drove all the way across the United States to here. And I'm going to tell you one of my favorite and best memories is driving to Vegas because we did it at 2 in the morning. And when you're coming down the Salt Lake Highway or the I-15, and when you're coming down and you crest the ridge to where you see the lights, you see the glow from miles away. But it isn't until you crest that ridge, and you have to do it at night, and then the entire glittering lights of Vegas is laid out before you. That is one of the most awesome visuals you'll ever have in your life.
It is pretty amazing.
Yeah. We have Toxie's here. She needs a place for her kid, Johnny Fever. Do you think you can help set her up somewhere?
Like a chair?
Chair, table?
Yeah, she's out there.
Yeah.
Just throw a pillow on the floor for her.
And I love road trips. I love road trips, so.
Yeah, there you go. I love road trips, too. And I'm the weirdo who likes to drive at night, so I will leave. Our road trips when I can get my road trippers to leave that early. My road trips start at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Because I can get out of most of the city traffic.
Unless I'm going with her, then that's much later.
Well, it would be 2 a.m. She would just be still awake instead of waking up.
Yeah.
And I tried to convince her that was fine. She could sleep the rest of the way. But I love driving at night. I hate driving during the day. The only portion of road that I dislike driving at night is, I think it's the I-40 through, what the hell is the name of that tiny little town north of Phoenix where the college is? Tucson, I think.
Flagstaff.
Flagstaff.
I love Flagstaff.
I love Flagstaff too, but the thing about Flagstaff is it has a huge deer population.
Ooh.
And every 15 feet there's a sign, please watch out for deer, please watch out for deer. And I have narrowly missed hitting a number of deer driving down that road at night. But I don't like driving it during the daytime because it's always busy. Always busy. So I'll drive it at night, but I white knuckle it the whole way through Flagstaff, just like, fucking deer better not jump out, I can't see you little bitches.
For those of us who are from Vegas, I don't know if you guys know this, but Vegas is surrounded by desert. You can't really tell here in the urban district unless it's windy and the sand is coming in from the desert, but it's complete desert around here. And even going to like Mount Charleston, it's almost all desert until you reach like 5,000 feet.
Yeah,
right?
and then it's like spindly ass little juniper trees, salt cedars.
But Flagstaff, when you're driving that route, Flagstaff is the first time you see huge fucking
ass
green
trees.
trees.
Yeah.
Which is I think that's one of the reasons why I love it so much. So, but our trip for the eclipse,
Beautiful.
that was
Because it was all desert until after Salt Lake City, and then it was fucking mountainous, gorgeous, beauteous. Like, it was just insanely
we did get
beautiful.
some farmland in between. Before we got to Salt Lake, there's like a huge stretch of farmland before you get to small. But it was they were all yellow still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
because it was winter. It's winter, so
No, it was August when we went.
Oh yeah, it was August. So yes, right.
It's winter now.
It is
Wasn't
winter
then.
now, right? But everything was yellow because of the harvest or whatever. I'm not a farmer, so I don't know these terms, but. So yeah, we didn't get any greenery until we got to that town I want to move to now. But
It's
I'm not
just
going
north
to
of
move
Salt
to
Lake, yeah.
unless my mom will move with me.
Yeah.
I did try to talk her into moving with me into the town. And,
She wouldn't go for it?
No, because it's all Mormons.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but you like Mormons? She goes, I don't care. I like Vegas. She loves going to Jerry's Nugget to gamble.
At 2 o'clock in the morning.
She likes going to the cannery.
Mm-hmm.
She likes being able to not sleep and go anywhere in town and it being open practically.
Yeah. If you need anything, I mean literally if you need anything at all at any time of the day or night, you can get it in this town. Even if you don't need it. We sell booze 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in every major food retailer.
Yep.
All of them.
Yep.
Except I think Target. No, I don't think Target has alcohol.
Jasper says he will take road tripping over flying any day. If it's in the continental United States, I'm with you.
Me too.
I'll even road trip it to Canada. I so want to visit Canada.
Oh, Canada's... I gotta go back. I loved Canada.
Mike says that is one of his favorite sites coming to Las Vegas from Salt Lake City because that's where he's from, that Vegas glow. And Mike also says we need to come visit up there in the fall, do a road show, and we can go visit my favorite town up there.
Yes.
William says he prefers sailing across the oceans to other countries to road trips. Hey, if I had the means and the reasons for sailing, I would do that all the time. I think that would be freaking awesome. You get seasick?
I can't even watch Deadliest Catch. I have 4 packs of emergency Dramamine in my purse, just in case.
Jasper says, try driving to Texas. It's nothing but flatlands and hills have eyes background.
Yes.
Boring yet creepy.
From El Paso to Dallas, it is the same single chain link fence and like 3 cows, and I think they're stuffed they haven't moved in years. I've driven from El Paso to Dallas a couple of times. My personal self, I've driven it twice, and then I've been on family road trips because we used to go see my grandmother, who lived just on the other side in New Mexico, just on the other side of El Paso. So we would go visit her and drive when we lived in Dallas all the way out there. That, just so you all know, you can drive all the way across Texas in a single day, but just from Dallas to El Paso, it's 10 hours. So starting from the edge of Texas to the edge of Texas, it's 12 hours to drive across that fucking state. It is insane.
Hey, we've got Charlotte in the chat. Hey, Charlotte. And then Jeffrey calls us the Sunshine Girls. Yes, we are.
Well, we're cute now. Hey, Curvy Girl Army.
Curvy Girl Army?
Yeah, she's wearing the recommended shirt.
Okay. All right. We brought you some tater tots.
Look, we left you some tater tots.
Because the other way,
You got a plug right there.
yeah, that probably would have been smarter.
It's Toxie.
See?
We've been talking about road trips and where you've lived besides Vegas.
Toxie's lived a number of very interesting places.
I have. Quite a few. Allow me to just get in. Keep
Let's all
talking.
just watch Toxie.
I'll move out of the way so you can see her butt while she adjusts.
I'm gonna attempt. It's always so hard. My butt's so big, and then the seat goes so high.
That is a very flattering shirt. I really like your boobage there.
Thank you. Totally came with the bra.
The shirt came with the bra?
No,
Yeah,
the boobs.
I was like, I want that deal.
I like those off.
So where are some of the places that you have lived?
I grew up in Pennsylvania.
That's right.
That's right. You
Trumpland.
You grew up in the city that voted 100% for Trump, didn't you?
Something along those lines. They're very, very partial to Trump. Oh, look at that, by the way.
Cool, huh?
How cute is that?
The setup for our, you see you have a much better picture now on our Facebook feed because we have a tripod here in studio and Sierra had a stand for the iPad and we had tape.
We duct
Because-
taped that shit to
Is
the
that duct
stand.
tape?
Tape
Yeah, it is duct tape.
fixes everything.
That is pretty awesome.
I do have to take that stand with me, though, because that's my stand for my phone at work.
Is
I
it
need
also
that
the
shit.
stand for when you record yourself at home?
No. I have a...
Masturbating?
No, I
Different
actually...
one.
I think she would do that laying down. Like she use
No,
a
she
coffee
said
table.
she's recorded,
Oh.
like, from there, and she's recorded herself.
No, I have a tripod set up for that.
See?
I have an entire video... I can do all of this at my house.
Yes.
In
yes, you can.
her bedroom.
I've done it in my bedroom.
All of this.
That's right. We have streamed. We streamed for a few months before we got into here at WWDBTV.com. From your dining room table.
Yes. And we did our testing show not too long ago
That's right.
from the dining room table.
Our YouTube Live, which
Live.
is coming up, by the way, before we get into
Yes.
Toxie's places of habitation. February. Damn it, I don't have my
I know, and I'm still
my
pulling
journal.
Up
Mine's in my
page.
journal,
My plural.
which is way the hell over there. Yeah, I like plural.
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 Anyway, it's February. I think it's early February.
It's the second weekend of February.
there we
It's
go.
the 9th, 10th, and 11th. That's what it is. We're broadcasting on the 10th.
On the 10th, on Saturday. So we'll be broadcasting live right here on our Facebook and via to YouTube. Well, maybe
YouTube
just
Live.
YouTube.
Maybe just YouTube.
And we'll share the link over to Facebook so you guys can watch us live. So where are some of the other places that you've lived besides Pennsylvania? I've been to Pennsylvania. My uncle lived there. And on one of those trips from California to New Jersey to take the plane, we stopped in Philadelphia to visit with my uncle who lived there. And
Wait, you know, so you drove from here to New Jersey to take the plane, but you know they have planes in between, right?
Yes.
Like,
But
yeah,
yeah, but
I explained. I don't know why we did it,
Oh.
but I don't know. Maybe it was cheaper for the Air Force for us to do that. I don't,
Got it.
Oh, I think I know. My dad wanted to take the car, ship the car over, and I
makes
think
sense.
that's why. So, but I got to visit the Liberty Bell. I was so excited.
yes.
I loved it.
Yes, I actually was with somebody in Philly. You know, I grew up and I've been to all those places. I grew up about an hour and a half away. And of course, that's where your field trips are, to Philly and to.
Yeah, people
don't
here
know,
in Vegas get kind of hosed for field trips.
Oh no, the field trips here are like kind of awesome for kids.
But they are not educational.
Well, no, they have like the bodies exhibit. They have aquariums here.
I would like to remind you that your daughter spent most of her formative years at a private school. My kid did not get that opportunity.
Yeah, public schools don't get those.
No.
Okay.
They went bowling.
Yeah, and then
Occasionally the Children's Museum.
one of the most historical things we have here, and this was before the Natural History Museum and those places, which are cool places to go.
Yeah.
The only thing that was here was the Mormon Fort, which is just like one building.
Yeah, and like some old dude sitting outside telling you a bunch of Mormons used to live there.
Yeah.
No, I mean they're limited, but they've gone to like there's Bonnie Springs, there's all the exhibits. They went and had lunch at like the Rainforest Cafe after going to see another exhibit. So
They're better now, but like the public schools don't get to, like, we have a Guggenheim Museum here. I don't know any public school that's been able to take their kids to the Guggenheim here in
Bless
Vegas. What?
what?
The Guggenheim.
God bless you.
It's a museum, you uncultured turd.
I actually know what that is, believe it or not.
I know you do.
Again, Pennsylvania museums, New York.
Yeah.
There are a ton of
museums.
things now where kids can go.
Yeah.
They just
I
don't get to go
love-
because it's expensive.
Yeah, and I don't know, and of course the school district here is not treated as kindly as in other places. Like, people don't believe there are kids that live here that go to school. It's like they're all living on the streets of Vegas, stealing wallets
Learning
out of
to-
their pockets, right?
The
Yeah.
school district is a whole other conversation that
Right.
we probably
Yeah.
don't have time for tonight.
Not tonight.
But so I grew up there, and yeah, like you get those really cool field trips to different places, and some were like fucking farms, so whatever, I get that too. But from there, I lived in different parts of Pennsylvania. I went to college out in a town that was surrounded by Amish communities. So if you were driving to Kmart, which you had to drive to, and it was like the nearest store, you would get behind the horse and buggy, and you'd have to wait. From there, I lived in Alabama, then San Diego, and then here.
That's very cool. I love San Diego.
It's beautiful there.
Yeah. Tim says, living in an oddly shaped state sucks since I'm essentially at the base of Florida. Any road trip is just a horrible ride up America's shaft.
So true.
Well, Florida looks like a shaft anyway. Like,
Well,
it
yeah.
looks like...
William says it only takes 4 hours to drive across Missouri from KC, that's Kansas City, to St. Louis. Annette Suarez says we are a bunch of hotties. Annette!
Hopefully that doesn't get us pulled off Facebook. Sorry. That's just my immediate response when I see it.
Gil G says, hi girls, first time listening live from Phoenix. Ooh, masturbation talk right on time. That's right.
I like to lick my middle finger and then polish my little man in a boat.
in front of the tripod set up in your bedroom.
Yes.
Which I'd like to be on the receiving end of this broadcast. I don't
Actually,
understand, like,
the funny thing is I don't actually record them. I just set it up so I can watch myself.
You said that just really for watching, but someone
to watch.
somewhere is watching. I mean,
do-
Big Brother somewhere is streaming from your
Oh, no, I make sure
computer.
I'm completely disconnected from the interwebs when I do that. I don't want to accidentally record anything and
I'm not
like,
that
Upload
smart. Like,
anything.
I
Yeah.
totally do really bad things in front of the Xbox Connect because I'm like, someone's watching somewhere, so might as well make it worth it.
right? Get paid for it.
Yeah.
If I ever recorded, it would be so that I could sell it and make money. People like to watch that. Oh, well. Oh, I guess I do know. I watch myself, so yeah. All
Do you
right.
give yourself feedback? Are you like, oh yeah, a little to the left? There you go. Like,
Yes.
there you are.
I mean, not like out loud, but I'm like, maybe I should do. Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Do it out loud.
Record-
Like,
if you're gonna-
encourage
if-
yourself.
If she's going to do it out loud, she has to record it, just so we can watch it later.
Yeah.
It'll be a comedy of errors, you guys. It's not.
Wait, are you quiet when you masturbate?
Most of the time, I kind of have to be because my house has very thin walls.
Oh.
The only kind of porn I ever watch is comedy porn anyway.
like puppets. You're like
Puppet porn, by the way, is fucking
It is.
amazing.
One of my favorite,
I love
Totally watch
puppet
that.
porn.
one of my favorite genres of porn are the ones that are takeoff from live movies. There was one. It was a takeoff on the X-Men, and it was called X-Girls. It's fucking hilarious.
Harry.
They are hilarious.
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Bone.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
how am I like? My porn is not this educated. My porn is like.
The Sperminator is my favorite Ron Jeremy flick
That's right.
ever.
And here's the thing: how are you getting through whole movies? Like, how long are you taking?
Well, we used to have like porn movie nights.
Yes, we did. They were drinking parties. That's what they were, and it was our goal to de-virginize anybody who had never seen a porn before.
So we tried to find the most ridiculous porn we could find. I think we saw one called Gothic one time where it was about this coven of vampire strippers who, when they would suck the blood out of the guys, they'd be fucking them at the same time. But the special effects to make it look like they were taking all of their life force was to just speed it up really fast. So it was like fast forwarding through the sex parts. It was
like,
phenomenal.
I like when they're when they're cheeky and maybe the pizza guy's there. I mean, I can always dig a pizza guy, but
I think the
I
very
can't
first.
watch like a full. I don't want to have a whole, 2-hour.
Did you ever see that
movie.
4-hour flick where that chubby blonde girl got the earrings fucked right off of her?
Is the whole thing
Were you
4
there
hours?
for that one?
I think I was.
It was
yeah.
4 hours, but it was like 3 or 4 different movies, just all kind of put onto one, like 4 hours of porn flick,
Yeah.
And there was this kind of chubby blonde chick. She was kind of cute, but this guy's just railing on her from behind, and her earrings just popped right the fuck off her.
But at this point, if you're not
If they
getting
would have
off,
added 3D, it would have been awesome.
if you're not getting off with 4 hours of porn, I don't know. You're watching the wrong kind. Like,
No, it was
you're doing it wrong.
That kind of porn you watch with friends who you don't plan on maybe you do plan on doing an orgy with. It's for the comedy of it.
yeah. It's completely for comedic value.
If
and
I
want
want to get off, I'll just go onto Tumblr
Yeah.
because that fucking 3-second gif of some dude sucking on a girl's clit, that does me.
See that? I mean, that's not enough for me, but that's way too much for me. Like, I feel like I'm kind of in the middle here. Like, I want to, and I flip around. I
know you do.
But like, I'm pretty sure my shiny quarter syndrome, the fact that I can't pay attention too long, I'm like, yeah, I know what you're gonna do. Like, next video, next one, all right, I know. Get the fist in there, okay?
Some of that
all right,
late
next one.
80s, early 90s porn, when it's been compressed into like a 4-hour flick where they've just taken like the good shots out of them and just thrown them all into back to back. Some of that stuff is downright hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Depends on what context you're watching in, I think.
Who you're watching it with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gil Gee says squirt videos rule, and Samantha says the like 76 Alice in Wonderland porn is amazingly ridiculous. So much decorated bush and a talking masturbation rock.
Yo.
Dude, I
want
am
some of
down for that.
What is that now?
Actually, the animated Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs porn is pretty fucking funny too. That one's pretty good. But I think it's in like Swedish or some shit.
Alice in Wonderland is a classic, right?
Yeah.
I think I can get into this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
maybe I'll
telling
check.
you.
I mean, wait, whoa. Is Alice a kid?
Wait.
I'm out.
That brings a whole new meaning to the term going down the rabbit hole. Just saying.
Like, I mean, if Alice is like a 42-year-old single woman, all right. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. But
This isn't personalized porn, hun.
I prefer them personalized. I very specifically look for my type.
Did you know that there is an entire industry of porn where you can write them and pay for them to produce the movie you want? And if they can get the actors you want, they'll do it like this. I heard a podcast about it a couple of months ago. I was like, that is amazing. Like, I could have all of the porn just the way I want it. Although I would get bored with it after a while. That's why I like Tumblr too, because I'm like, hot dude, hot chick, anime, hot dude, hot chick, anime, hot dude, ah. I love
That's
Tumblr porn.
exactly what I do. I scroll until I find something, and then I'll just lay there.
But
and
then
just
you
watch
watch that on repeat for I don't know at that point. I mean, I think I've told you. At that point, I'm like 2 minutes and 34 seconds. I'm like, let's just get in, get out.
And that's it. You're done. You don't even have to turn your phone off because it'll go off by itself. You just lay it up on the headboard and boom, you're done.
Dang.
Guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but ladies can... Why did it do that? Ladies, we'll be right back, guys. Ladies can masturbate themselves and get off in a really short period of time. Like, I know with guys it takes a long time for us to get going, but when it's just us, like, we can speed through the combination on auto lock real fucking quick. Just like, zip, zip, zip. Ha! Done!
It's my favorite is that episode of Friends where she's... Have you ever watched Friends?
Yes.
Okay. Where we've been rewatching it at home, like all the time. But where she's like, you go 2, 3... 2, 3, 4, 6.
Oh, I love that.
4, 2, 1, 7, 6, 4, 9, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. And that's about it. Like, that's it. There you go.
Well, my combination's not quite that long. But yeah, I can get off in just a couple of minutes by myself usually.
I mean, when it gets to, like, yeah.
But I will sometimes like to, like, tease myself to the edge and bring it back again. Make it last a little bit longer.
I can't do that. I don't like teasing myself. Although I like it when other people tease me.
Why are you laughing at me? I am sometimes the only person I'm having sex with. Somebody's got to do my thing. No, I'm not like that. I'm like, oh, right there. Okay, almost down. Let it settle down a little bit. Bring it right back up to the edge again, and then bring it right back down. It's kind of like variable speed. Just wah, 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 wah.
All right. So a little bit different. You know, like, hey, you got a booger on you.
Ew. I'm not a bully to myself.
kidding.
Just you.
Oh, okay.
We have to reshare. This is a new video, so we're going to have to reshare it.
Oh.
I think it's because we're connected to Cox Wi-Fi, which Cox is better than the other Wi-Fis here in the city.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the reason or not. There. See, I told you, Brian. I told you she would be here.
Yep.
Brian says, hello to the most beautiful woman I know. That would be you.
How much do you pay him every month?
Women.
Oh, he did say women.
Oh,
Oh, thanks, Brian.
You're so sweet. Didn't we want to talk about, like, some real stuff? Not just, like,
we were
traveling
talk
and
about the shutdown.
masturbation? Oh!
The government shutdown.
So the government shutdown, it happened, what, once, twice when Obama was in office?
I don't remember.
Happened once.
It happened once, and everyone was up in arms about what a terrible president we had because the government got shut down. And I don't think it happened until his second term. Like, it wasn't in his first term. It was his second term, and it was at the very end when the Republicans knew he was on his way out, so they were doing everything they could to filibuster or whatever the fuck they call it, try to keep his ass from doing anything. It happens in Trump's administration, and I don't see as many people up in arms going, our president's awful! What's the fucking difference? Like, seriously, what's the difference between the Democrats keeping it from happening or the Republicans keeping it from happening? Fucking nothing.
According to the right-wing people that I'm technically still friends with.
It's Facebook only, though. It's not that serious.
Yeah. It's the Democrats' fault because we wouldn't negotiate on DACA.
Well,
It's all our fault. But
it was the Republicans' fault the
last.
last time, so I guess it's a, one and done.
Yeah.
Like, this will be the last time we do this, right? We got back at you, you got back at us.
Although we do have a Republican Congress and a Republican House, so I would say it would be the few margin of Republicans who voted with the Democrats' fault.
Probably. Listen, I don't give a shit.
I don't care
Here's
either.
the thing. I happen to think that all those motherfuckers should not get paid for this year because they let the government get shut down. All of them. Not just the Republicans, not just the Democrats. Every motherfucker who was in on this whole thing that didn't get shit taken care of when they should have gotten taken care of. Boom. No salary. Why? Because if I show up to work and I don't work, I get fired. That's why.
Yep.
Of
Anyway,
course, my elections are coming up soon, so firing a bunch of you fuckers this term anyway.
So usually for me, it doesn't really affect me too much. I'm not on any government sustenance or, subsistence or anything like that. But on Instagram, one of my favorite places to follow is NASA.
NASA.
And the museums, the Smithsonian's and all of the, the government-funded museums. And all of them are not posting at all.
Well, isn't the government back up temporarily for a couple of days?
I don't know.
I think they are.
I went through my Instagram today. I saw no space pictures.
Man.
I did see some from the Canadian Space Agency, which I also follow.
I want to follow the
you're
European.
Still seeing space photos.
Just not American space photos.
But NASA, to me, NASA is like the premier.
It's
space agency.
It used to be.
But in Canada, they're probably like Canadian.
I love the Canadian Space Agency. I love following their Instagram feed.
NASA used to be what everyone wanted to be. Not so much anymore. Now everybody wants to be SpaceX, even with their disappearing rockets.
SpaceX is getting better. I follow SpaceX as well, and all of those accounts affiliated with.
Do love me some Elon Musk.
That's not a movie.
No.
SpaceX?
SpaceX is an actual...
I thought it was like a franchise.
No. Space...
Like every time I see it, something about SpaceX.
No. Elon Musk, the world's hottest, smartest man ever, second only to Tesla.
Well, Tesla's dead, so he's first.
Well, I said ever, but whatever. He has his own space agency that the United States uses more than they use NASA to send their shit up to space. All of the space agencies are like, we need to get some stuff to the people in the space station so they don't die. They need food. And SpaceX is like, okay, we'll take it. And it gets there most of the time.
ISS, the International Space Station. I follow them too. They're awesome.
Did you hear about our first African-American woman who's supposed to live on the space station ended up getting grounded? She didn't go up on this flight. Yeah, I was kind of bummed about that.
Oh.
And there was no reason why, at least not since I've looked at the news. Come on, let's get some color up there. Little Japanese men don't count.
Yes, they do.
That's awful.
No, it's not. There is not that much color difference between them and me. I know a lot of Asian
But there's a huge ethnicity difference between them and you.
Not that
Like,
big.
they're probably very proud.
I eat sushi and watch anime. I speak a little Japanese. You missed my N-word
I apologize
trigger
to
earlier.
Asians on behalf of my best friend.
When we got started, she said girl, and then she was like, I don't think I should say girl anymore. And I'm like, no, girls like the N-word. They can't say it, but we can.
Did you say the N-word?
No, I didn't say the N-word. What's wrong with you?
I'm like,
You
I'm
know-
so appalled tonight.
You know that you are a more terrible person than I am. I would
One time! One time!
and you will never live it down.
I caught a lady in the club hymn. One time! My bad!
Well,
I
you didn't.
thoroughly apologized.
You didn't say it one time. You said it a couple of times. It was one incident.
I think I said it 2 times within one incident. It's not like I said it 27 times. It was a mistake.
I was the more PC person in that situation.
One time!
And you know what? She's going to own that shit until you die.
I know!
We're going to be in the old lady's
time.
home. Our kids are going to be leaving, be like, I can't stand visiting mom all the times we come and visit them. And I'm going to look at you and I'm going to be like, remember that time? I was a less terrible person than you.
And I'm just gonna be screaming, one time! And throw my fucking pudding at you.
Pudding.
Of course, she's only going to have that one story to hold over your head ever, right?
No, it'll happen again.
I mean, being drunk is not an excuse. I will absolutely admit it is not an excuse, but we did, like, polish off an entire bottle
Jack Daniels.
of
that
Jack
night.
Daniels.
Yeah, we did.
And, like, I was still waiting for more. I was like, are we done?
We did
But,
do a lot of drinking that night.
Yes. So I
So in a drunken situation, we all know who to come to for PC stuff.
guess.
Because apparently I can hold my PC better than she can.
William says, I have been all over Asia, and there is a very big difference between them and us. Tim says, P.S. Toxie, I say the N-word 34 times before I get out of bed. LOL. LOL, you good, sis. And Tim says, my son needs that shirt.
My son needs that shirt.
Lori says, my son needs that shirt. I missed the shirt post, if there is one.
Oh, I want a t-shirt that says, I eat sushi and watch anime.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Yeah, right up above.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a little bit. Yeah, I need
And
a shirt.
actually, I
that
do
says-
remember her son was into
And you know what?
anime,
I
so.
can probably doodle. And my doodling's getting better. I might be able to doodle a little sushi roll and make a shirt out of it.
Sushi rolls are easy. And you know what? I'll send it to you because we have a Pinterest.
Mm-hmm.
And besides the Sin City Bounty Pinterest, which I don't think we've posted
Do
to
we
in,
have
like,
a Sin City
forever.
Bounty
We do.
Pinterest?
We do.
Can I put like a dinner recipe on
Yeah.
there?
We're going to put Toxie, because she's the queen of Pinterest, in charge of the Sin City Valley
Oh,
Pinterest
that's a great
page.
idea.
No, I hate Pinterest. Pinterest is, I hate
It's a
hate
deep
Pinterest.
rabbit hole.
It is, no, Pinterest.
It makes her feel like a terrible
it makes
parrot.
her- yeah, like my daughter's not getting into college because I did not make homemade sidewalk chalk when she was little. It's one of those where
And we-
like mommies use it to compete against who's more awesome.
Well,
And
you'll
I'm
be
like-
doing it-
I'm like, I didn't even put fucking underwear on today. Like, I can't do this.
Me neither.
I can't.
Well, no, you can use the Sin City Bounty Pinterest to post all the inappropriate memes you can't post to your regular page.
true. And I have a
food
lot.
recipes. I know you do, because you
By the
send
way-
them to me and you're like, will you post this for me?
And our failure as top whatever is par for the course for us. So
It's true.
it's like where all that shit goes.
Just real quick, I did have a meme about it really fast. It said, it doesn't matter what your friends think. See who you want. It doesn't matter what your friends think, because at the end of the day, your friends aren't going to eat your ass.
I beg to
And
differ.
I had sent it to her one day because I thought it was fucking hilarious. I posted it. I just want to share really fast.
We have
It
5
was
minutes.
not, I wasn't asking. I was not offering. I was not suggesting. I was not, because I got a few DMs and, you know, they wanted to give me options, but no, it was just a funny meme.
The problem with that meme is that she knows it's not true.
Like some friends will. So,
If you in a bind, girl, I mean, I'm going to have to use a dental dam because, you know,
it is a pretty big app.
yeah.
No, just a snorkel, right?
Yeah, snorkel will do. Snorkel will do it.
That's the sound I'll be making. Snorkel. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
So, can I share? I know we only have a few minutes,
Good.
and I've probably I've interrupted, but I have to share something that happened.
Yes, by all means.
So I have to share a little PSA really fast. I had something happen the other day, and then I'm like, come on. I decided to try CBD oil.
Cannabis.
Yes,
something-
but
something
I didn't go
oil.
to a marijuana shop. I went to just a smoke shop. And I just wanted, I wanted a little starter one with like little training wheels. And I just wanted to like try it out. So
When you push it across the counter, does it go weed, 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 weed,
it
weed,
does,
weed,
like it's a cute tiny little bottle, and the gentleman's like, there's these huge amounts of milligrams, and I'm like, no, just give me the smallest one, give me a teeny one, and so anyway, you know, the gentleman behind the counter like asked me some questions. Why do you want it? What is it for? And I explained that, as I've shared with here probably many times, but I have anxiety, and I really want to get off of like a medication for it and just try to treat more naturally. So I want to give it a shot. And the guy proceeded to like continue asking me questions. And sometimes I really get in a bind where I go like, I don't really know what to do here. And so he's like, do you drink soda? And yeah, I'm like a Diet Mountain Dew addict. He's like, I want you to go home right now, bring all your soda back, and I'll throw it away for you. And I'm like, oh, no, that's cool. And he's like, do you want me to come to your house? Do you want to give me your address? And I'll come to your house and throw away all of your
This
soda.
is the smoke shop, dude?
This is the smoke shop, dude.
Okay.
So,
Homie, you ain't working a naturopath store. You're working at the fucking place people buy their crack pipes.
yeah, so it gets better, because granted I was looking in the natural area, but the rest of the store is like tobacco and
Meth.
pipes and all of that. So then he went on, like he's going on about, cereal, like, do you eat cereal in the morning? And I'm like, not really. And he's like, do you have cereal? And I said, yeah. And he's like, throw it away immediately. Throw it away. Go home. Throw it away. And he said, it's poison. You know who decided that breakfast was cereal? Corporations. Corporations decide it.
That's technically true, but yeah.
While it's true, I just wanted to make my purchase and leave. But then he continued on, and he kind of went on more about my weight. And he was like, here's what you need to eat, and here's what you need to do. And I'm just standing there like...
How are you just standing there?
Because she's not me.
Oh, okay.
Because I get in these situations where I don't know how to get out of them.
Okay.
Like, that is actually my biggest...
That's when...
my number one.
I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to think to yourself, what would Sierra do? And then do that.
WWSD.
That's right.
This is why when we go out, I have to say she's my girlfriend, because
Right.
I don't know, I'm not good at the whole, no, and they're persistent.
Apparently, I throw some pretty good shade from across the room. Be like, that's my bitch, man.
You do, it works. So here's the deal. Like, he continued on about weight loss, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. And I'm like, and I'm like clutching my oil, and I'm like, I just want to get out of here. But the thing is, this isn't the first time it happened to me. I used to go to this pizza place frequently, and the owner once decided that he was doing a watermelon diet, so he gave me watermelon during my meal and discussed how I should do the watermelon diet. And I left there, just wanting to eat my fucking cheese pizza in peace, and I left with watermelons. So it was, here's the bottom line, the reason I wanted to bring this up. People, you don't need to give unsolicited diet advice or weight loss advice. I assure you, all of you, I've heard it. I know it.
So this is an issue.
I'm not going to change my mind based on what the guy in the smoke shop said.
This is an issue that's been going on forever because mothers get unsolicited parenting advice.
Yes, all the time.
Fat people get unsolicited diet advice.
Right.
Fat parents get unsolicited child rearing dieting advice.
And it's just, and now with social media, it's exploded where people will always put this stuff up. And they don't even bother to put the whole disclaimer, this is for your information only, use it if you need to. They go, this is what you need to fucking do.
Right.
And there's just no way around that. You have to develop a Sierra attitude about
I'm just
shit like
in there
that.
like this, trying to walk back, take a step back slowly with my oil in one hand.
So here's
I'm like, I
my
just wanna go home.
unsolicited being a human advice. Be WWSD.
Most of the time, I just smile and nod. You need to just amp up that RBF because you've got a good one.
I got it. No, I got it.
Don't make eye contact. You walk in, you say, I want CBD, I want the less, whatever, the cheapest, smallest one you got. Thanks. You walk around and you get out. And if you just act like you're an asshole, it's not too hard for me to do, they leave you alone.
Did you open the conversation, ask him a little bit about the CBD oil or anything?
I asked him where it was and which one each one was because I had already been researching it. So I had an idea of what I wanted. I wanted the lowest, you're right, cheapest one because that shit does get expensive. And I don't want to pay a lot until I know it's of interest.
Yeah.
So mine's the CBD hemp.
The other, I regularly use I'm really just here for X. I have said that so many times. They'll come on and start rattling off whatever it is, and I'm like, that's great, but really I'm just here for this. And that's just bitchy enough to let them know I don't want to talk to them, but it's not bitchy enough to let them jizz in my food. There's a middle ground there.
Have you been giving us time things? Because I haven't been seeing.
Yeah, we're over time.
Are we over time?
Yeah.
All right.
Toads.
I'm sorry. I was watching the girls. Her boobs look really good today. I'm Alexia.
Toxie.
And Sierra.
And we'll see you guys next week.
If you're brave enough.
At 7.
At 7.
Pacific.
At 7.
Oh, 5.
Later, bitches!